Update: my sister-in-law got a miracle baby and went crazy, demanding that I don't let my baby into her wedding because the only baby that should be getting attention is hers. And when I said no, she pulled this crazy move and tried to kidnap my daughter. Now guess who's spending their wedding day at the jail? The room exploded with joy. Everyone jumped up from their seats, rushing to hug us, congratulate us, and share in our happiness. The atmosphere was suddenly electric with excitement and love. Lucas's parents were especially thrilled. This was going to be their first grandchild, and I could see the pride and happiness shining in their eyes. They had known how hard we had been trying, and this news meant the world to them. My own mother was in tears as she hugged me tightly. "Are you okay, sweetheart?" she asked, her voice choked with emotion as tears streamed down her face. I nodded, smiling through my own tears. "Yes, Mom, I'm more than okay." My brother and his wife hugged Lucas and me, expressing how thrilled they were that we were finally going to be parents. They couldn't wait to help us out and share tips for being first-time parents. I confessed how nervous I was and how I kept overthinking every decision. My brother reassured me that he felt the same way before my niece was born, and his wife nodded in agreement. In that moment, nothing else mattered but the love and support of our family. This was what Lucas and I had dreamed of, and now, surrounded by the people we cared about most, it was all coming true. The evening had been filled with so much joy, but there was one person who stood out like a sore thumb: Jasmine. While everyone else was celebrating and sharing in our happiness, Jasmine sat motionless in her chair, glaring at us with a look of unmistakable anger. Her reaction was so starkly different from everyone else's that it was impossible not to notice. I couldn't help but feel a bit uneasy about it. When Kyle came over to hug me, I took the opportunity to quietly ask him what was going on with Jasmine. I wondered if we had somehow offended her, though I couldn't think of anything that might have caused such a reaction. But Kyle just shrugged it off, telling me it wasn't a big deal. He seemed completely unconcerned, as if her behavior was something he was used to. As the evening progressed, we all moved to the living room to enjoy dessert and wine. Naturally, I refrained from drinking, and Lucas joined me in solidarity, choosing not to drink as well. We all settled in, and the conversation naturally turned to babies and pregnancy. I shared details about the nursery we had been putting together, feeling proud of the little space we were creating for Cece. Throughout all of this, Jasmine had remained silent, barely participating in the conversation. But then, out of nowhere, she suddenly spoke up, asking if she could see our nursery. Her request caught me a little off guard, but I didn't see any harm in it. After all, she was a parent herself, and I thought perhaps she might have some helpful suggestions or tips. So, I nodded and told her that she was welcome to take a look, and I escorted her to the nursery. As we entered the room, I watched her closely and noticed that she didn't seem impressed at all. Instead, she started pointing out things that she thought were wrong with our nursery. She criticized our choice of room, saying it was too well lit for a baby to sleep in, suggesting that we hadn't thought it through. I calmly explained that we were planning to install roll-up curtains to darken the room whenever the baby needed to sleep, but she barely acknowledged my response. Next, she had an opinion about why we had chosen to color the room yellow instead of a more neutral color. I was taken aback and told her that yellow is just a color and it had nothing to do with someone's gender anyway. Then, she turned her attention to the baby clothes we had neatly arranged in the drawers, and she scoffed at them, remarking that her son had never liked clothes like these and that we should have consulted other parents before buying what she called cheap knockoff versions. Her tone was dismissive and condescending, and it took me by surprise. Up until that moment, I had been trying to be polite, assuming she might just be a bit blunt, but this crossed the line. I couldn't hold back anymore. "What the hell are you talking about?" I asked her, unable to hide the frustration in my voice. Her words stung, especially after all the effort Lucas and I had put into making everything perfect for our baby. It was clear that she had no intention of offering any constructive advice. Instead, it seemed like she was